up? My name is Daniela and welcome to a new video, I guess. So as you might have noticed, I'm currently taking a break from BookTube and I have privated all of my videos, which has many reasons. It's a lot to unpack and I don't even think I can unpack all of it at the moment, so I won't get much into it, but the bottom line is that I wasn't happy with my videos, like in almost all aspects. Yeah, let's not go there. I don't know if I will come back to making BookTube videos on a regular basis, so what am I doing here today? Well, I am actually preparing to move, and that means that I'm getting rid of stuff, including books, so I just really wanted to make an unhaul because I love making unhauls and watching unhauls, and I think that unhauls have a very bad reputation on BookTube. It's seen as something negative, as negative content and tea and whatever, and that would be a whole another video, but I think that unhauls are a really good thing because usually it means that the books can get to other readers and you get to have more space on your shelves, either for new books or if you want to downsize, like myself. So yeah, unhauls are awesome. I decluttered my books and my stuff pretty often, but because I will be moving, I'm taking that extra mile this time and I'm going really deep and I'm getting real with myself regarding a lot of things. So this means that this unhaul will be kind of special because I will be getting rid of some of my favorite books. So without further ado, I think we can get right into it, and I can tell you that I'm getting rid of all of my J.K. Rowling books, which means the Cromine Strike series, which is currently these 4 books out, and the 5th one is coming out this year, and yeah, I won't be reading it anymore. And of course we also have all of my Harry Potter books, which yeah, in past I was kind of able to separate the art and the artist, but I really can't do it anymore in case of J.K. Rowling. Although, you know, as for so many people, like Harry Potter has meant something to me and it has been a part of my identity, etc, etc, but yeah, I think it's time to move on. So I will be unhauling all of my J.K. Rowling books and I will be selling them, and I will be donating the money, at least the amount I get, to a trans organization. Again, I could make a whole video about like Harry Potter and my relationship to it and how other people are dealing with this situation, but this is the route I'm taking, and yeah, because transphobia, racism and other forms of hate towards marginalized people are just not acceptable. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. Alright, so the other books I'm getting rid of. So we have Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. So this is a book I read this year and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, but I don't think I will be reading it again. Next we have My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. So I gave this 5 stars. It's my favorite Sophie Kinsella, I think, and I swapped this for another book, but when I got it I realized it wasn't in very good condition. You know, it would be readable, but I prefer my books to be in a better condition, so I'm getting rid of this copy. Then we have Wishes by V.E. Schwab. So I have a complicated relationship with V.E. Schwab's books. I really like her writing. I usually enjoy the world building, but I just can't seem to get attached to her characters. This sounded like something I would enjoy. It's an adult sci-fi about like near-death experiences. It sounded great, but I really didn't like the characters and it was kind of a chore to get through it. I gave it 3 stars. I don't think I will be continuing with the series, so yeah, it's going. Then we have Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. So this is a young adult contemporary about a high school girl who is feeling the pressure of going to college, and yeah, this has some queer rap and I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars, but it was so angsty, so angsty. And yeah, lately I haven't been enjoying really angsty young adult like I still like some young adult, but I don't think I will be reading this particular book. But also Alice Oseman has a new book out which is called Loneliest, and it has RA's rep, and I definitely want to read that. Then we have Wild Beauty by Anne-Marie Mclemore. So this is magical realism about a family of women with magical powers, and this also has queer rep. Sorry, I'm not saying exactly which ones, but I can remember exactly. I think that the girls in this are bi, and there's also a genderqueer character, and like this is probably the most beautiful book I own. Well, not for long, but like that's not really a reason to keep a book in my book. So I actually really like this. I gave it 4 stars, although it was a bit hard for me to get through it because I struggle with magical realism, or like the genre that is between contemporary and fantasy. I realized I prefer when it's like straight up contemporary or straight up fantasy. For some reason I struggle with the place in between. So yeah, I think this was a really good book, but yeah, I won't be reading it again. As I said, this video doesn't include any tea, but if it did, this would be the time to drink it, I guess. Because yeah, I decided that I'm going to get rid of my copy of A Coat of Wings and Rain by Sarah J. Maas. So this obviously is volume 3 in the Coat of Thorns and Roses series, which I really enjoyed. I gave 5 stars to all of the books. This volume is the only volume of the series I own, although my favorite was the second one. But I bought this book kind of randomly in London 3 years ago. So yeah, and I realized that I'm probably not going to buy the other 2. And also I remembered that when I was reading this book, it was physically hurting me, like hurting my hand, because it's like a very chunky paperback. So I realized that if I want to reread it, I will probably get the ebooks, so I can get rid of this one. Next we have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Yeah, I don't have the dust jacket. And this is a young adult fantasy, urban fantasy kind of, you know, really popular on BookTube. And I gave it 4 stars, but then I realized that like there was one good kissing scene, but other than that I wasn't the biggest fan of the plot. And yeah, I was excited to read the next books, but now I'm not that excited. And if I want to read it again, I will probably get ebooks. Then we have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. So this is a sci-fi book about a pandemic. So yeah, I bought this not secondhand, but like in a discount store, and that was probably the only reason why I bought it, because it was cheaper than a usual book. But yeah, it also has something to do with Shakespeare, and well, that sounds good. I don't especially like Shakespeare, and I don't think I would enjoy Shakespeare themes, and I don't want to read about a pandemic. So then we have The Marriage Flawed by Jeffrey Eugenides, and this is literary fiction, and I bought it in a second-hand bookstore while on holiday, and it was like the only marginally interesting book in English they had, so that's why I bought it. But turns out I'm really not interested to read it. We also have The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. So this is young adult sci-fi, which read like very young adult, although the main character was like 16 or 17. And yeah, I read it and I thought it was okay, but I won't read it again, so I am sending it to the next reader. We also have The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. So recently I saw some things on Twitter about Scott Lynch, and like it kind of made me not want to read his books, and I wasn't like that much interested in this one. It was more like the hype around it, or certain people hyping it really a lot. So yeah, for me it always kind of sounded similar to Mistborn, which I'm keeping for now. So yeah, I won't be reading Scott Lynch's, what is English? His books. Next we have a series that I kind of surprised myself with because I didn't think I would be getting rid of it, but I realized I wanted to, and it's the Arc of Insight series by Neil Schusterman. So we have Scythe, Thunderhead and The Toll. So I really like the first 2 volumes and I reread them this year because I wanted to prepare for The Toll, which came out last year I think, and The Toll was a pretty big disappointment. Yeah, I was kind of fed up with the world by the end of The Toll, so I don't think I will be reading it either ever, or definitely not in the near future. Then we have another series I finished recently that I enjoyed, and that is the Shadow and Bone series by Leigh Bardugo. So Shadow and Bone, what is it called? Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising. And yeah, this is a young adult fantasy about a badly done love triangle. Yeah, this series didn't give me what I wanted from it, and I didn't like the direction it took, and yeah, I mean, it was kind of entertaining. I had fun, I'm glad I read it. I really liked some characters, and I'm continuing with the world. I'm currently reading Six of Crows, and I'm looking forward to reading King of Scars, because King of Scars, right? Because I really liked Nikolai and also the Darkling, but like he wasn't done as I wanted. And yeah, okay, we are almost done. I also have Circle Girls by Clary Grant. So this is a fantasy, horror, contemporary, something along those lines, and it's about a monster on an island and 3 girls that are trying to like deal with it. And the only reason I bought this was because there was Ace Rep, and I really liked the rep. I really liked some of the characters, especially Zoe, but the plot and the story itself really wasn't for me, and I don't want to read it again. And although there are many books in my TBR that have Ace Rep, I was holding to this one because like it's so rare. So yeah, but I really didn't like the story, so yeah, I'm going to get rid of this. I like took photos of the pages that dealt with asexuality and like the relationship Zoe had, and yeah, hopefully I will find new books with Ace Rep with the story that I actually enjoy. And this also had female romance. I'm also getting rid of 3 Wishes by Lynne Moriarty. So Lynne Moriarty is one of my favorite authors. I have read several of her books. I really liked almost all of them, but they are kind of a one-time thing, I guess. There's usually an element of mystery or some like tension, and like her books deal with a lot. Like there are content warnings, that there are difficult topics, so although I really enjoyed most of her stories, I don't feel like going through it again. And I still have like several of her books I haven't read, so for now I'm getting rid of this one, although the cover is really pretty, but again, that's not a reason to keep a book for me. And yeah, I currently have, I think, 2 of her books I haven't read, so something to look forward to. And the last book I have, I'm not entirely sure about, but it's Strange Dreamer by Lynne Moriarty. No! by Laini Taylor. So this is a young adult fantasy, and it is a really slow moving book, although it does have an epic ending. So like, it was hard to get through because it was so slow, but the ending made it worth it. And then I was excited for the sequel, News of Nightmares, but like it has been like a year and now I'm kind of over it. Like I could still read it, but the problem is that I don't remember everything that happened in this book and I don't feel like rereading it. So yeah. So yeah, that is all for this video. Tell me how you're doing and if you're getting rid of books or if you're getting new books. I don't know if I'm going to upload a new video soon, but you can still like and subscribe, you know. Yeah, because this is how you do booktube. Okay, stay safe, stay kind, and I will see you next time. Maybe. What? Bye.